Um, First and foremost, we beat a really good basketball team. I think that, as the season progresses, they'll be knocking on the door of the top 25. I really believe that. And I think obviously we did a really good job affecting them from our defensive pressure. And we made it hard on Grant Riller, who was their leading scorer coming in, to get a bunch of good looks. Didn't do quite as good a job on Brantley, but if only one of them hurts you, hopefully it's Brantley if he's not making a bunch of threes, which he made a couple in a row there. I've known that kid for a long time. I actually played against his brother, and they recruited him when I was at Stephen F. So I was well aware of how good they were long before the last year when they made that run. But I'm proud of our kids for the way we competed. I thought we competed at a really high level on the defensive end. The key to the game in my mind was making those two guys have a hard time getting clean looks, and then you have to rebound because they've done a really good job on their offensive glass. And collectively, we had several guys contribute to us being able to win the battle on the boards today.
You guys fell behind by 8 there late in the first half, and then I think it was like a 33-5 run to kind of take control. What really worked for you guys during that stretch?
Well, offensively, we kind of got stagnant for a bit, and we started to really attack a little bit more. We weren't playing on our heels as much. And there's no question that having Weathers out there made a difference. I mean, let's not kid ourselves. He's a difference maker. We knew that long before he played today. And unfortunately, he had to wait his turn. But, I think everybody was now completely aware of the type of impact he can make. And it's not just in terms of making baskets. I thought one of the keys to the game was his defensive play on the break when he turned it over. It's a great lesson for our freshmen. It was wrong. He screwed up, but you keep playing, you keep competing, and he made a heck of a defensive play to block that shot and really show, what we're trying to accomplish defensively, which is playing with all our effort all the time.
How do you think having Weathers back motivates his teammates? Do you think it kind of helps them to have a little bit more of a complete team now again?
I don't know about motivation. Again, there's no question that Mike's one of our best players. So I think it helps everybody understand that we got another really good weapon out there, and he can make plays for himself, but he's a good passer as well. He can make the game easier for some of his teammates who otherwise don't have as good of looks. He changes sometimes the way teams have to guard Thomas Desagua or Lindy Waters or Cam McGriff because, the one thing he does exceptionally well is attack in transition. He puts the defense on their heels and almost forces a second defender to have to come pay attention to him. When that happens, we got a guy like Desagua who, we got confidence in making shots, and Lindy who didn't shoot it great but had really good looks. We feel like if those guys get those type of looks all year, we'll be in good shape.
I know you'd mentioned during the summer when you challenged Thomas to make those 25,000 shots that you wanted to see more focus out of him, and you had one of those smaller resumes. Are you kind of seeing any results of that on the court now?
Yeah, I can't think of what the numbers are off the top of my head, but he made his threes at a pretty high clip in all 3 games. But more importantly, is his defensive focus. He's in position most of the time. He's got to cut back on his turnovers. He's got some really, really odd turnovers for a kid who's one of our smarter players who's been coached his whole life and who's been around the game. He's got to cut back on his careless turnovers, and when he does that, he'll become even more dynamic. Now, the problem is he's not necessarily a guy who breaks you down off the dribble, but again, we've got a second guy with Likely now who can do that, and that changes the game for him a little bit.
And y'all had 5 guys, and he was 5, who scored in double digits. How encouraging is that to have the offense kind of spread around like that?
Yeah, again, I'm not surprised. I'll say this. I have great belief in this team, and what people might think they know about this team doesn't affect what I think about this team. I've watched these kids work since June. I know what they're all capable of doing. And today I think we saw a small glimpse of what this team has the potential to be, and we're still not whole. We got a couple guys who will play for us at some point pretty soon, hopefully, that'll also add some more offensive weaponry to our team. And then when our freshman bigs continue to learn their defensive assignments a little bit better, now we got another dimension defensively. I think you saw that with your, around the rim, it changes things. We can continue to pressure the ball a little bit more and be more aggressive, not giving up threes. And if teams want to drive, you got to think about a guy with a big-time wingspan and good feel for blocking shots coming over to help.
In addition to Zago, I think 3 games you guys are 30 for 65 from 3, and that's probably like top 20 or top 10 in the country. Does this team have potential to be that good a three-point shooting team all throughout the year?
What did you say the percentage was?
I think it's 46 right now.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't think about it in that regard. Here's the only thing I worry about. All summer, from June 9th or whatever it was, every kid on our team put in the work necessary to have success now. And, I got a sheet every week. We charted everybody's shots. I'll tell you who was second in shooting numbers this summer was Michael Weathers, who had probably, in terms of the group of guards, the most questionable jump shot of the group. But they just work at it, is the point. And I believe ultimately work wins. That's what we talk about. Projections don't win, talent doesn't win, although it gives you a chance, work wins. And these kids have totally bought into that. And we're starting to see it from a kid like Desiree who, hadn't had a whole lot of opportunities, and he's worked his way to have more opportunities, and he's taken advantage of them.
I know you don't really care per se about who starts and who doesn't, but you decided to put Duncan into the lineup. What was the thought process there?
It was actually, it was a combination of things. Duncan has continually shown me that I can trust him. The thing, I don't think you can really lose a game offensively in the first 4 or 5 minutes, but you can definitely lose a game defensively. If you have a guy you're supposed to hold down, let him get loose for a couple easy baskets, can change. And I trust Duncan as much as I do any of my vets of being assignment sound right now. And we had him start on their best player. Now, we were bringing help, but I wasn't worried about him being out of position and giving him an easy basket. And the other thing is and this wasn't against him necessarily, I wanted him to have an opportunity to see the game from a different perspective. And that's my job, is to try to figure out how best these kids can have success. And if it's coming off the bench for and he did a better job, he rebounded better, just kind of letting the game settle some. There's a lot of high nerves and all that to start a game. He may feel some pressure there. I don't know what the case was. So a combination of giving him a chance to maybe look at the game from a different perspective. And Duncan's earned it. He's earned the opportunity to be out there because we can trust him. His teammates trust him. And he did what he does all the time, play with great effort and play assignment sound basketball.